Rugby-4-Women Empowerment hosting their school girls rugby tournament finals today in Gqeberha. So that event features a variety of women's empowerment initiatives and workshops, including sessions on gender-based violence, period positivity and self-defense, along with the final match between the two competing schools. All right, Sisipho Ngcumbe, SABC News reporter, is live for us there. Sisipho, it looks like I think the show's about to get underway. Tell us a bit about what we can expect.
Well, a very good morning to you, Griselda, and a good morning to the viewers at home as well. I have stepped out of shot just so that my colleague Gqeberha can just show you that class is underway here at Grey High School in Gqeberha. What you see here is we see some of the athletes, some of the rugby players who will be competing today. They have actually joined for a workshop. Specifically, this one is a gender-based violence, or rather a self-defense workshop, where we see that the teacher is actually instructing them on different skills and different techniques if ever they were to find themselves in a compromising position where they'd be able to, defend themselves and, be able to really fight. So you'll see different students in different tracksuits that are representing different schools. We also have some not only young girl students here, we also have some young men who are here as well today. We know that this is not the only workshop that is happening here. Inside, we also have a period positivity workshop, and we also have I believe a workshop that teaches the students, or that teaches the learners exactly what to do if ever they were to find themselves in a situation where they were being victims of gender-based violence, how to report it, the systems to report that. So an exciting day. Later on, we will be seeing the finals as well of, as you correctly said, Griselda, we'll be seeing the finals of the rugby tournament. Of course, this initiative is quite broad. We've seen organizations such as the Riva Steenkamp organization. We're also seeing the Kolisi Foundation, and we are also seeing Gift of the Givers partnering here just to give these children or these young girls a chance, platform not only the sport of rugby, but put together with it, put together the skills of protecting yourself as a young woman today. However, someone who knows more than I do, certainly about rugby and certainly about the initiatives that are happening here today, organizer of the event, Ati, and I'm just going to bring him in with me, Griselda, just to talk about what the importance is, Ati, of bringing together the sport of rugby as well as women empowerment today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Sisipho. I think the power of sport has been well documented by Mr. Nelson Mandela, and the name of the tournament is called the Rugby-4-Women Empowerment Tournament for a reason, and that reason is understanding that, there's barriers for these young girls to get to the field, but they're facing bigger and scarier barriers within their community. So it's not enough to say that them being on the field, protects them and gives them those opportunities, but we need to do more to empower them, to make sure that they're less susceptible to the social ills that we see a lot of our women within our communities being subjected to. And by empowering them, we give them opportunities to make better choices.
And Ati, also, we spoke a little bit off camera as well. A lot of the young girls that we see here are coming from township schools where perhaps they may not have the same resources and facilities as we are seeing today. How important is it to expose these young women to those resources and to these facilities, such as this one here at Grey High?
So, I think a big part of our work as a Kolisi Foundation is around empowering women, and one of our big initiatives is our Women in Sport initiative, and that initiative aims to give access and resources to young girls such as these who are living up and trying to accomplish their dreams, to be able to do so by limiting and taking away barriers that will hinder them. So in ways we do that, we give them access to high performance facilities at the Nelson Mandela University, where they work with sports scientists, where they can track their physical physical abilities, and they can track also just their explosiveness and other elite physical testing that is held there at NMU. We also assist them with gender-based violence workshops such as today, to make sure that they're able to pick up red flags, but they're also able to understand what can they expect from the judicial process if they were to be a survivor of such incidences. So empowering these young ladies goes over and beyond the field, as we just said, and we're really looking at just taking away and limiting the barriers that will stop these young ladies from living out their dreams. And we've seen access to information becomes key, but also access to choices is something that we often forget. And just because you're coming from that environment doesn't mean you have to be subject to an opportunity because you need one, but to be able to give them choices then becomes another powerful thing.
That was very well said, Ati. And just the last question I have for you then is, we know that this is the inaugural finals of this tournament that is happening here. What would perhaps be a long-term vision for you as the organizers in terms of a tournament such as this?
So we see across the board when it comes to rugby is one of the biggest sports. It is probably the biggest sport in South Africa, and we see the brand that, the Springboks are doing and how well they've done, but also the women's Springboks now partaking at the World Cup, so it then becomes very important that we have such tournaments as these to drive participation levels, but also to drive up the skills levels. So currently the women's Springboks are sitting probably mid-table when it comes to the rankings. That's because our schoolgirl structures and our school structures when it comes to girls rugby aren't strong enough yet, and we're hoping with a tournament like this and never despising small beginnings that it'll grow into something that a lot of the schools might partake in the future, and maybe it might be the flagship schoolgirls rugby tournament in the country, and that's the bigger dream.
That certainly is the dream. Thank you so much for your time, Ati. Of course, that was tournament organizer Ati, who was just letting us in a little bit on the big term vision for a day such as this. And of course, we know that as the young girl child, it is certainly said that when you're sitting at home, especially in the townships, and you see a girl just like you, a woman just like you, taking part in a sport such as rugby, a very physical sport. However, we know that girls certainly can excel as they do in everything that they put their mind to. So we will be keeping track here as we walk through the different, as we walk through the different workshops. And certainly we are excited to watch the final game that will take place this afternoon.
Sisipho, did you say that the event is continuing tomorrow?
Oh, today the event has actually been happening for a number of games now. We've had playoffs, and today is the actual finals where we'll see the two final remaining teams take their place and compete for, the grand prize of being the winner here today.
Okay. I was going to ask to speak to you again tomorrow if the event was continuing, but I guess today is that final. Do enjoy out in the sun. Thank you very much indeed, Sisipho, out there, of course. Enjoying some time in the sun and enjoying some sport as well.